Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we'll look at another extremely well-armed small ship, and this one is called the Saber Bomber Class, which is this lovely thing that I'm currently driving. So this features one hell of a lot of guns around it, to the point that it might be considered a turret with a cockpit strapped onto the front of it. And well, we have got gatling guns galore all the way around this, and then got reloadable rocket launchers, we then got our proper rocket launchers on the side, and if that's not enough, we then got scripted missiles on the top and the bottom that can be deployed with a click of a button, and just go and home in on the nearest enemies. Of course, I'll go and record that all the way back. I'll test them out a bit later. So pressing F10 to find this in spawn menu, the Saber Bomber class is 1,814 small blocks, using the Decorative Block number 1, Wasteland and Sparks of the Future DLC packs. We got no information whatsoever, so simply give this a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, and then go and test it out, maybe find some space pirates in the distance, and use those custom missiles against them. So, at the very front for the Saber Bomber class, what we've got is an industrial cockpit to drive this thing around, with a gatling gun on the left and right hand side. To the left and right of the gatling guns, we then got some wasteland spotlights to light up the darkness, then surrounding all of that, some orange, black, and white steel blocks. If we move down slightly, first of all, we then see a bunch of hydrogen thrusters to move this thing around, and hydrogen thrusters are the only form of thrusters that appear on the ship, outside our custom missiles, which use ion thrusters. At the very bottom, we've got a bunch of gatling guns to blast enemies with a nice hint of white steel blocks, just to cover it up and make it look very neat, and well, very spiky. If we move around on the side of this leg part, here we go, we then see some non-reloadable rocket launchers to blast enemies with some more hydrogen thrusters scattered about it, and once again, some white steel blocks, just to make it look all nice and spiky. Moving down slightly, we see more hydrogen thrusters, how it's all being connected up. That's the side of where our gatling guns are sitting at the very bottom, with a sneaky hydrogen tank right behind there, to make sure we've got a bit of fuel to drive this thing around. Move around towards the very back of this thing, and then see a rocket launcher turret on the left and right hand side for some automatic firepower. Then right in the very middle, at the very back, they've got a much needed connector to load up ammunition, and of course hydrogen, to make sure we can fly this thing around and shoot stuff for a nice long time. If we get a bit closer, we then see a bunch of small cargo containers for all our ammunition to sit inside, and we can see the top and the bottom of where our scripted missiles are currently sitting, which we can easily just lift up and down to fire them out. If we get a bit closer to these, so we'll come around towards the very front once again, here we go, pressing number 7, they then deploy all the way down, where you can see some lovely orange steel blocks, warheads right behind it, and over to this part we then see some gyroscopes, our remote control blocks, around towards the very back are ion thrusters to push this thing around. This is all fully automated, so once they've been deployed, we simply just launch them away and they'll target the enemies that are nearby, or you can simply use these as dumbfire missiles if the enemies are out of range. Putting it all the way back up, look at the inside of our gatling gun legs. Here we go, so we've got some more thrusters. There's a close-up of our hydrogen tanks and the side of our gatling guns. Then once again, returning to the back of this thing, moving all the way up and looking down. Here we go, even more hydrogen thrusters. There's the top of our gatling guns. There's the top of our custom missile. And I think that's about it. The outside. Or just a glance round over to this side. Here we go, all the way around. And all the way down. And there we are with the outside. So there is a lot of stuff going on with this ship, but most of it is basically just guns and thrusters with some steel blocks in between. But now what I'm going to do is take over my character, go through the controls, and well, we can see what this thing has to offer. So just realign the camera like so, hiding all of that, pressing number 1. This is all of our gatling guns shooting all together, which is going to absolutely shred anything that comes towards you. But due to the way they have been separated, it will be quite hard to hit a small moving target, especially a small compact target, because as you can see, if whether it be in cockpit view, they're only really going to be hit by the middle gatling guns, and not the actual main destructive ones, which are on the very top and on the bottom. So you may want to separate these gatling guns if you want to say, only have the middle ones firing one button, then have the top and the bottom ones firing when you say you encounter a larger ship, where they can actually hit the target. Anyway, number 2 is for your reloadable rocket launchers, which sit at the front, behind our rocket turrets. So we'll fire them one more time. 2 together. Number 3 is for your non-reloadable rocket launchers to sit on the very side. There we go, we'll have to be quite sparing with them. Number 5 is to turn on and off your rocket launcher turrets. Number 7 is to manually lift up and down our custom missiles on the top and the bottom. So looking at it like so, pressing number 7, and up they come. Number 8 is then to manually fire them, but we don't need to do that. All we can do, put that all the way back down. And then once it's ready, we can hit number 9, and this will automate the process for pressing that. But then after a few seconds, lift it all the way up. Then after a few seconds more, they'll then deploy all the missiles. Now they should go and shoot out, or try and find any nearby enemies. So they fire off, pistons then retract, and off they go into the distance. And that's that for all the controls the ship has to offer. So all we've got to do now is fly this thing around. It's time for me to find some space pirates and actually test this out so we can see the destruction it can cause. So moving forward, as you can expect from having all of those thrusters and the back there just lighting up the darkness, we are bloody fast. Come to a stop, we are, well, not as fast as moving forward, still very respectable at the end of the day. Then moving left, and moving right, we are bloody fast with that as well. Moving down, and then moving up. Moving up and down feels the slowest out of everything, but that is to be expected from a ship that's generally designed to be in space, but you could take this down to a planet if you wanted to, and simply fly it like that. But yes, as for gyroscope controls, there is absolutely no way on this whatsoever. We are extremely floaty, to the point that you may want to turn down the gyroscope if you're like me, like to have a bit of meat on your controls, but then again, that is just simply personal preference. But as for that is that for the controls, that's that for how it flies and how it looks. So it's time to pull my signals, and well, that looks like an unsuspecting victim right above there. That's not Space Pirates, but it'll certainly do. What I am going to do is spawn in a brand new ship, and we'll go and see what kind of destruction we can cause with all these guns. So here we are, I found my unsuspecting victim to test out the guns on this ship. It's just a regular little transport ship just minding his own business. So what I'm doing now is just locking onto it, and now I'm going to press number 9 because hopefully this will work. I have a feeling it will need to be an enemy ship to make the missiles targeted, but I'm going to try nonetheless. So here we go, found there was a space pirate mayday down below me. Off goes the missiles, and hopefully it's going to go straight towards it. I need to try and fly along with it because they are fairly slow missiles. They take quite a long time to get to 100 meters per second, but they should do a nice bit of damage. But I have a feeling from their trajectory, they're just going to straight up miss it. Here we go now, 500 meters away. And I'm not too sure if it's actually going to hit it. They might just fly past that. Second one will definitely hit into it. There we go. A nice bit of damage. And now there's a nice bit of smoke coming off it. But here we go. All the Gatling guns is firing straight into it. And that's now going to absolutely shred it into tiny little pieces. We now move across to reloadable rocket launchers. There we are. And of course, being thrown creative, now move across to all of our non-reloadable rocket launchers. But now it's time to come back to the Gatling guns. Third person view. And look at all that damage we are dealing. We can't really see anything going on with that because of all the smoke, but we are slowly deconstructing it, and there's really not going to be much left of this, well, once I'm done with it. But yes, that's pretty much it for what this ship has to offer. It's a nice ship. You do want to have something with a bunch of guns on there to blast your enemies with, and well, something that does have custom missiles to launch at your enemies. Custom missiles are always fun to play around with, and it doesn't really matter if you use scripts or the AI blocks, they all function the same, and all a lot of fun to use. So there'll be a link to this ship in the description below to download and play around with yourself. Highly recommend you do. There'll also be a link to the Skybox I'm currently using. It's a very nice one with a giant almost whirlpool cloud effect right at the very bottom of the screen. And well, there goes the ship. It's just been split in half. Yes, as I was saying, that's it for this video. Be a link to the description below along with the Skybox. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.